Hi, my name is Santiago. Today I'm presenting analysis on uncertainty, focus on how people in Mexico perceive insecurity and institutional trust. Now, the contents that we are going to speak about today are focus of analysis, content, age box plot, gender chart, qualitative variables, age data analysis, bivariate age sex analysis, conclusions, and the references. Now, the main objective of this study is to analyze which social and institutional factors influence how people perceive insecurity in Mexico using survey, microdata, and for evidence. Now, the context. Mexico is facing a complex security situation. Even though some crime rates have dropped, people's fear of insecurities remain very highly, and that directly affects their trust on institutions. Now, according to INEGI's 2024 data, about 25% of the adults feel unsafe in their city, and almost 7% think corruption is common. This shows the insecurity is not only about crime, it's about perception. Now, the box plot of age. The most respondents are between 30 and 60 years old, with a median of 43. This means that our sample may include working-aged adults. The group most express to daily security risks. Now, the gender chart. As you can see, the sample is nearly balanced, about 8,300 cases compared to 68,000 men. That give us a good foundation for comparing perceptions across gender. The entity key. Now, Mexico City has the highest number of participants, while some smaller states have a fewer crime rates. So, national averages are influenced mostly by the country's largest urban areas. Now, the socioeconomic level or stratum. Most people surveyed belong to lower socioeconomic levels that are important because economic vulnerability often increases people's feeling of insecurity. Now, the insecurity concerns. Around 60% of respondents said they are concerned about insecurity. This confirms that safety is one of the main issues affecting people's daily lives. Now, corruption concerns and lack of punishments on criminal concerns. Interestingly, only about 20% of worry about corruption or impunity. That suggests that issues are seen as less immediate compared to personal safety. Now, perception of security in your state and perception of safety in public transportation. About half of the population sees public transport as unsafe. This fear reflects people's vulnerability in everyday spaces like buses, metro systems, taxis, or another too many types of public transportation. Road safety perception, and feeling of being a victim of extortion or kidnapping. Over 55% considers to feel unsafe on highways, and other 40% perceive them as safe. Now, in the factor of extortion or kidnapping, 40% fear being kidnapped or extorted. That's a powerful reflection of how deeply insecurity shapes social behavior. Now, trust in the state police and perception of state police corruption. Now, talking about only the state police, we see that 60% don't trust of the state police, and 65% believe that they are corrupt. This creates a serious challenge to institutional credibility. And now, the state police and all the police here in Mexico are easily briefed with not much larger amounts of money. Now, trust in National Guard and perception of corruption in the National Guard. Now, the National Guard performs better, 65% trust in it, and 70% don't perceive corruption. Still, there's a room to improvement of transparency. It's not the 100% of trust or 100% of perception that is not corrupt. There is some room to change it. Now, trust in the army and perception of army corruption. The army is the most respectful institution. 70 trust in it and 65 don't see it as corrupt. People generally associate it with discipline and effectiveness. Also, this can happen because the army is not as common to see in the roads or in the city as the state police or the National Guard. The age statistics, histogram, and origin. Now, talking of age, the average age is 45 years with a standard deviation of 17.7. Half of the respondents are under 43 years, confirming a strong presence of working age adults in the sample. Age by sex, histogram, statistic, and box plot. Now, men average 44 years, women average 46 years, and both groups here have very similar distributions to make them fully comparable for further analysis. Conclusions. Now, to sum up, insecurity and mistrust are widespread, specifically toward local police. The National Guard and Army maintain better reputations, but always there are some points to make better and to give trust to the society. Overall, adults between 30 and 60% of age are the most affected and the most aware of these issues. Strengthening institutions, trust, and improving publicly. Safety in mind, key priorities. Now, the references. Finally, these are the main sources. INEGI is one of the main sources, and then there are some other sources that we can search about. Thank you.